What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled Helping Black Women Spot a Good Black Man, right? So what happened was Solo hit me up yesterday and sent me Cynthia G's hangout on the argument that black women keep choosing thugs. And he was like, you could definitely respond to this. So I'm a little tired from work. This is what I'm doing. So I'm gonna give you help a little bit, and I'm gonna point out a few things that create the rift of communication as we see it right now. First and foremost, ladies, you gotta stop when men talk to you about men and manhood and masculinity. Do not spin it into the paradigm of female thinking, because we're talking apples to apples, and then you want to change it to apples to oranges, and then you wonder why it doesn't work. Very simple. I used to always say, you parakeets can't tell a shark nothing about swimming. So when you're in the ocean with the sharks and they tell you how the sharks get down, you can't just bring your parakeet mindset and think it's the same, because it's not. Now here's some of the signs. And the reason I said that is because she was like, how do you spot a good black man? What do you look for? What does he look like? Really? Well, what does a thug look like? Really? Okay. What we're basically saying is black women are choosing dysfunctional and degenerate males. And when they spend time and find this out about these guys, what they do is they choose to stay with them, which says something about them, which means they're dysfunctional and degenerate too. Now, on the other side, when they meet guys who are functional and progressive, then it becomes, you have to show me everything immediately, right at once, because I don't want to waste my time. But you wasted your time with degenerates and dysfunctional people, so why not waste your time getting to know somebody functional and progressive, right? So, excuse me. So here's some of the things. You'll find a better brother if you look for a guy that's intelligent. And what seems to happen is, when I'm talking about intelligent, I'm talking about in various forms. Somebody who can communicate, which, orating is part of intelligence. Part of manhood would be mechanical training, or somebody who could work with their hands. Somebody's good mathematically, budgeting. You know what I'm saying? Someone who, how can I say this, has good foresight. And one of the problems is when you get involved with people like this, and the one thing I've seen over the years is that when some of our women meet intelligent men, it becomes a competition. And instead of respecting the intellect of the man, for some odd reason, you gotta try to one up the guy, and that creates division. So, but if you spot an intelligent guy, that's a sign of a good guy, because he's smart enough to make good decisions, and his life is going to be a representation of the good decisions that he's made. And even if you don't see it yet in his life, he could be a minimalist. You know, another characteristic, a sign of a good man, straightforward honesty. If the guy wants a relationship, he's gonna say he wants a relationship, or that's what he's looking for. If the guy wants just sex, he's gonna say that's what he's looking for. There's no ambiguity. There's no none of that. So if you got a guy who's willing to who says what he means and mean what he says, and he's straight up, that's a sign of a good guy. You don't have to like what he says, but at least you know it's real. The other thing, he's disciplined and organized. Contrary to some's belief that men aren't probably as cleanly or neat as the neatest woman, but normally good men are organized and disciplined, because they have to have all their ducks in a row, because they have so much on their plate and they have so much they need to do. So if you meet a guy and he's organized, and he gets up and he does, not just things, of course, with his occupation, but other things in life, and he's disciplined and diligent. May that be with his diet, his regular day-to-day routine. If he has a schedule and he operates in a certain way, he's probably a good guy, because he has a lot of things to do, so he has to have a regimen. The other thing, well, and plus organized and disciplined. With an organization, he'd probably be clean, and cleanliness is next to godliness, right? The other thing, he's self-sufficient. Able to not only hold his own, but not just survive, but thrive. That's one thing. So he has a good sense of perseverance, a good sense of, he has no quit in him. If you meet a guy, he could be down for a moment but bounce back. A person who doesn't who can turn a negative into a positive. A person who can, how can I say this properly? A person who will never, who can see them winning in the end if they're losing in the beginning. Who has a plan, who knows how things unfold and know how to break situations down. Piece by piece, strategic, that's what I meant. Strategic, tactical thinker. Good guy. A person who treats other people well. Strangers. People in public, like, people who are in service and stuff like that. They treat people well. They aren't a man that has manners. He tips. He can communicate and talk to other people. Just in public, just have fun. Relax. Another thing these guys that you can spot a good guy is his self-confidence. Not the flamboyant thing that y'all gravitate to, but you can tell that the guy is comfortable in his self, in his manhood, in his masculinity. He's okay. He's secure. He isn't insecure. You know, those are the signs of a good brother. And see, that's the thing. We've said this stuff numerous times. And that's why I said earlier, you got to stop looking at things through the paradigm of a female mindset when it comes to men. Because what winds up happening is you ladies say you're looking for a man, but you wind up gravitating to a man that if you were a woman, you would be this kind of man. And that doesn't work. The similar thing when mothers raise their son to be the type of guy that she wished she had in her life. And then the guy goes out and it doesn't work with other females because that's not what that isn't how the sexes mesh. It's got to be realistic. You know, so and when we say these women are choosing thugs, it's because all of these dysfunctional behaviors they choose to participate in. You know, part of the argument that, you know, certain guys are boring is because they're not degenerates and they're not dysfunctional. And they don't have the time for the excess drama and shenanigans in their life. They got things to do. You know, part of these guys, some of these guys you consider as boring or not entertaining is they're tired. They're up early and go to sleep late. They don't have as much free time, leisurely free time in the week as these exciting people. They have to pick their spots, you know, because somebody who's proactive and progressive is constantly evolving. And that's another thing that, you know, guys aren't stagnant. You know, and a lot of times ladies look at fashion as a sense of evolution. With men, that's not the case. You know, evolution is a mental and a spiritual thing. So if you're in somebody's space and you don't learn anything, you don't grow from being in their presence, then they're probably not good enough, or you're not, or if that's your level, that's what you're comfortable at too. You know, so you know when it comes to all these games about, you know, what's real and what's not, and what's a real man and what's really a good guy and what does a good guy really look like, and the thing about it is, you ladies have been pegged as a group of people who will spend a lot of time trying to make a bad guy good and say it's a waste of time to be with a good guy who's going to get better. And whether you want to dispute that or not, that's up to y'all, but I mean, that's your reputation. And you got the reputation from living up to that reputation. So, that's my 2 cents. I'm moving on to another subject. We out.